Welcome back. Today I'm joined by Sue Margolis, who is here with a United update. Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to see you. I've been away for a little bit, so hopefully you've been enjoying the show when you can.
Yes.
All right, so tell us what happened at the meeting last time.
It's been a very busy month for the United Board. A high priority is finalizing the budget for next year. The directors take the fiscal responsibility seriously and have been looking at every line item in the United budget and the GRF budget, of which we pay 40% of. So this year's been particularly difficult because we need to assess the unknowns engendered by COVID pandemic. And consequently, all the catch-up work is still to be done. On top of which is turning out that our insurance funding is still causing some issues. Nevertheless, as for the bottom line, we believe we succeeded in keeping the base of the resident monthly HOA dues at the $602 just as last year. So there'll be no increase there. We will be reviewing the reserve fund at the end of October, by which time we can have a handle on our insurance funding and better feel for the effects of what COVID has done. Our funds. This year, we've been depleted our contingency fund because it was used for water intrusion events. But for next year, we will be budgeting the water intrusion costs into the reserve and operating funds. So we won't be touching the contingency fund for that, but we need to build it up.
Okay.
Okay, the big elephant in the room is insurance funding.
Right.
It's become a real difficult problem. And it's not because of the village in any way. It's because of the fires and all of the things and global warming, everything else has brought the insurance. Unfortunately, our insurance year starts October 1st. So we don't have an idea right now as to what we did. In the past years, we bought one policy for the village based on Third's requirements. And their CCRs required $700 million of coverage. The reason is that Third's residents are entitled to get a mortgage, which conforms to FHA, Fannie Mae, and all the governing docs. Until this year, that required $700 million coverage for the whole village. However, the new requirement issued raised the coverage amount beyond the $700 million because we were reassessed and we're now worth quite a bit more, double the amount that we used to, because the assessment was done almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
So we have to, so this year Mutual 50 opted out since they have a steel building with sprinklers and more insurable for a lower fee. So we were all the whole village. And the insurance companies had us reassess and the values doubled since our list. Our agent is telling us, therefore, that the price of insurance will double, on top of which they're going to add a 20% increase over last year.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge problem.
So how many different insurance companies are there that will actually cover you for something that large?
Up until last year, we had one insurance company. Last year, it took us 35 to cover us.
Oh my heavens.
We had to do layer upon layer upon layer. So it's really a difficult process to go through.
Exactly. Okay.
And this year, we're getting told nobody's going to be willing to insure us to that the number. So so you can see there's a problem. The question to be answered for United, what is the base amount we need? Some say that we could get away with 100 to 150 million, and that would cover 99.5% of the things that occur. And what deductible will we be able to tolerate? We don't have any idea. And how would we cover a catastrophic event? One of the options would be to require all co-op owners to have an HO6 insurance, and we are definitely looking at that. That probably will be in place starting next month. There will be more talk about that in the future. All avenues are being explored. And I'm sure this is more than you want to know about insurance.
Oh, good stuff to know.
Yeah, it's a big situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the budget discussion.
Big time.
Big time. Under new business, there were 4 motions on the agenda yesterday, and one was laid over from last meeting to extend the formula for eligibility for residents in our co-op to include another way for buyers to qualify financially to live in the community. Based on a formula used by Third. This formula gives new buyers with assets but little, excuse the arm, income and way to qualify. The formula is used the same way banks use it for loans, and it was passed.
Okay.
To further harmonize with our business practices and our legal requirements under Civil Code 5501, we've asked the Finance Department to separate the reserve funds from the operating funds by having separate checking accounts. And this has been a craw in a lot of people's throats for a long time. This will give us a clear visibility of the reserve funds as required by Civil Code. United is signing off on all checks paid from the reserve fund, but we have very little visibility of the cash funds and the charges by staff for work done against this fund. And this will give us the visibility we need.
Oh, by separating them out?
Yeah, they're commingled right now, and there's no way to know which is which. It is slightly more efficient on funding, but not enough to not go ahead and separate them.
Okay.
Okay, we've slightly modified the current practices for procedures of collecting fines, fees, and chargeable services to make it clearer. And these policies take in COVID and so forth, and they will be distributed to all United owners in the November mailing. Each November, we are required to make a mailing to all members. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, United will never have to use these procedures.
Yeah.
For collection of fines, liens, and so forth. And we're asking all members to use Easy Pay so they don't have to remember to put their funds in.
Okay.
It does save us money if they use Easy Pay. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. And then, can't you set up some sort of a schedule with Easy Pay so it just automatically goes?
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. It automatically draws from your account and you don't have to even worry about it.
Excellent.
Okay. Lastly, we went with the new paints are now warranted for 15 years. So we've approved a cost-saving measurements for maintenance and construction to extend the exterior paint program from 10 years to 15 years. We've also extended the breezeway and balcony resurfacing to 7.5 years cycle using a higher quality product. This will save us money and we'll have the same protection as we had before.
Oh,
so that's a cost saving that we'll take into account in October when we look at the reserve numbers.
Okay.
We don't want to we don't want to give out the money. We cannot refund any money. That is illegal for us to do. So we will go into the reserve funds and maybe we will be able to bring down a little bit the assessments. We'll have to look and see what the insurance does to us.
Yeah, that's a real doozy. And like you said, the fires, in San Diego County, Northern California, but what's interesting is you look around and we do have hills and things, but it's not like where they're having fires. So do you guys take that into consideration when you're talking to your insurance companies? Do you have to argue that?
Yeah, unfortunately, Third has one edge that is against a open area that could be a fire hazard.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure, doesn't the fire authority clear it?
We clear it.
Oh, you guys do? Okay.
We do keep it cleared and we do worry about it, but yes, we are not really in, but just because of the state of the whole state, we are in a large pool here that and insurance companies don't like it all in one site. They like if it's spread out into sites all over the country or something like that. If a big thing happens, it will only happen to a small area of it, but we're all one huge site and we're in one place. So it makes it very difficult.
I bet. Well, thanks for working on that and good luck to you. I know that's a real tough one.
don't go out for your own home insurance because it's going to go up too.
I think, yeah, I think everybody's going to have to worry with the state of, like you said, the way California is right now with all the fires, and the heat isn't helping at all. So, all right, well, good. Well, thank you for the information. I really appreciate it. You always have a very thorough look at what's been going on. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sue, we'll see you next time. And we'll be right back after this.